tree. When we got into the theater, I held on to Pink Rabbit's paws tightly. It was very crowded into the entrance. It made me feel hot and prickly. There were so many people in the jostling around, and it was very noisy. We had to go to the wait into the queue for a long time. "Oh, goodness," said Mom, who was not using to be being a small, crowded spaces. She waved her wand and saw that a cool gust of air billowed around us. Dad was busy gazing at the poster of ballet dancers on the walls. "Don't the men look soft?" he said, impressed. "They almost like as slick and well-dressed a vampire. That one even have a cape." "Everyone stay together," called Mrs. Cherry, getting out of the register again. "I wanted to buy sweets," said Bruno, pointing at the stand. "Me too," said Oliver. "My mom gave me money for the food." Once Mrs. Cherry taken to the register again, and we all were clumbled towards the sweet stand. Mom gave me money to buy a packet of chocolate stars, which one are my favorite human sweets. Joe brought some sugar sherbet with her money. "I think I shall have some strawberry lace," announced Dad. "They look next best thing to red juice." Once we had all got out of the suite, we followed Mrs. Cherry up some stairs and through the little dark door. "Welcome to the theater," she said. I felt my mouth drop open the amusement. We were into the huge glittering auditorium. There was a rows of velvet seats, stretching all the way to the back and all the way to the ceiling. At the front of the massive hall, into the strange white curtain across into the front. Everything looked very fancy. Mrs. Cherry led us towards the row of seats into the middle of the theater, and we all sat down. "I can't wait to see the ballet dancers," said Joe. "Me neither," I said, pointing at the chocolate stars in my mouth. "I especially can't wait to see Tatiana too. Nor can Pink Rabbit." I reached out and lifted my leg until he could see the strange, but I didn't feel any squishy pinky paws. I looked down. Nothing. My whole body went cold and my skin started to prickle. I said, putting the bag onto the chocolate stars, and then suddenly feeling very sick. "Where's Pink Rabbit?" Joe frowned. "Isn't he here?" she asked. "You had to him just before we brought our sweets." "I was holding his paws," I said in the panic. "I must have to let go of him when I was choosing a chocolate stars. He must have to got lost into the crowd." I stood up in my chair. "I have to go to find them," I said. "Joe, poor Pink Rabbit will be so frightened." Quickly, I made my way along the road towards Mom and the door that led back into the entrance. "Where are you going?" asked Mrs. Cherry as I approached. "Isadora, sit down, please. The show is going to start in a minute." "I need to speak to my mom," I said, hurrying past her. "It is an emergency." "What is it?" asked Mom when I reached her. "It's Pink Rabbit," I said in a panicked voice. "He's gone." "Gone?" said Mom worriedly. "What do you mean?" She stood up and took my hand. Together we made our way out of the auditorium. The entrance foyer seemed very bright compared and a low light and their hall, and it was very quiet, empty now that most people had gone inside to find their seats. Mom and I scanned around into the pink rabbit, but we couldn't see him anywhere. He wasn't by the sweet stand up by the toilets or by the corner rail. You hand in your ticket. Where could he be? We paced round and round the theater foyer, but he was nowhere to be seen. Pink rabbit, I called frantically. Pink rabbit, pink rabbit, where are you? Maybe he's outside, suggested Mom. Let's have a look. We made our way out of the theater doors, but my eyes were all burly with tears, and I couldn't see where I'm going. Sit down a minute, said Mom, giving me a hug. Don't worry, Isadora. We'll find him. He can't have gone far. Together, we sat down onto the outdoor steps and breathed in the cold winter air. Mom wiped my eyes with a pink fairy tissue that popped sparkling dust all over my face. Oops, she said, wrong tissue. As we sat there, I noticed a small door a few meters down from the main theater entrance. Above, there was a sign reached with "Strange Door." I felt my hopes start to raise again. Mom, look, I said, pointing. Do you think that's where Pink Rabbit has got to? Mom looked doubtful. It's unlikely, she said. That's a place where actors and dancers go get ready for the show. I don't see how Pink Rabbit could have got inside. Maybe he can swept along into the dancers, I said hopefully. I think we should be checked. Just ensure. Okay, said Mom. Together we flew into the door and pushed it again. And it wasn't locked, but there was a man sitting at the desk just behind. Hey, he said, you can't come in here. The entrance is the place for performers only. Oh dear, said Mom, getting a bit fluttered. Well, it's just that... Well, he's a pink rabbit, you see. He's very special and he's only very little. As Mom grumbled a long story about Pink Rabbit, I slipped quietly behind the desk and into the room behind. Unlike that is a bit inside of the theater, there was an audition school. It was not grand at all. Ahead, a long gray corridor with a lot of doors each side. Some of the door has a name, but I didn't stop to look properly. I tiptoed silently past them all, past the closed rails of tutus and a box of usual ballet shoes, down the end of the corridor where I turned a corner. There was a pink rabbit. He was standing alone into the middle of the page and looked very lost. Oh, Pink Rabbit, I said, scooching him up into my arms and giving him an emergency hug. I thought you had disappeared forever. What happened? Did you get confused or follow the wrong people? Pink Rabbit nodded and nuzzled into my neck. Thanks goodness I found you, I said, putting him down. We have to better get back into the seats now. We don't want to miss the show. We started to walk back into the corner, Pink Rabbit holding my hands, when a sudden sniffing noise made us stop. It was coming from behind the next door. The door was a big silver star on it, and it sounded very sad. Oh dear, I whispered to Pink Rabbit. What shall we do? Pink Rabbit pointed towards the exit and he squashed Pink paws, but I shook my hands. We can't just leave, I whispered. Not someone is upset. That's not a very kind thing to do. We should see if we can help. Pink Rabbit bounced back on our mole. Come on, I said to him. Let's be brave. I lifted on my hands and knocked on the door. The sniffing sound from inside stopped immediately. After a minute or so, the door opened, and a beautiful lady peered out. I could only see her eyes, but they was covered with silver glitter, and she has a pair of flash eyelashes. Hello, she sniffed. Hello, I said a small voice, suddenly feeling very shy. We just wondered if you were all right. The lady gave a watery smile and blinked her huge eyelash. Then she opened the door a bit wider so we could see her properly. She had a pair of white bunny ears and was wearing a white leather of the black velvet waistcoat. She was also balancing on the one leg. The White Rabbit! I gasped. Tatiana Tutu! It's you! It is, she said. I am Tatiana Tutu. But who are you? I'm Isadora Moon, I told her. And this is Pink Rabbit. Pink Rabbit put his paws behind his black back and puffed out his cheeks importantly. Tatiana Tutu looked at him with interest for a moment, and then she opened the door wider. Come on in for a minute, wouldn't you? She said. Pink Rabbit and I slipped into the room, and Tatiana Tutu closed the door. I looked around and gasped in wonder. The room was dazzling. There was a big mirror on the wall with a bright light bulb set around it, and from the ceiling huge rows of sparkling tutus. On Tatiana Tutu's dressing table was the Formula Stars diamond tiara. Wow! I breathed staring at it. It's so pretty. You can try it on you like, said Tatiana Tutu, picking up and putting on my hand. I stared into the mirror and turned my hand from inside to side, watching the diamonds flash and twinkle into the light. My smile grew wider and wider. It suits you, laughed Tatiana Tutu. Then her face took a more serious expression, and I remembered why we are here. I took the tiara off the lid and carefully on the dressing table. Why are you crying? I asked her. Tatiana Tutu sighed and looked sad. I hurt my leg, she explained, pointing at her one and holding up in the air. I tripped over the way to the tiara. I thought it was going to be all right, but it was hurting very badly. I'm not sure I can dancing until tonight, and there's no time to replacement dancers now. The show will be cancelled. What? I gasped. Yes, said Tatiana Tutu, nodded, a tear trickling down her cheeks. It's all my fault. I let everyone down. Oh no, I said. You can't help that you trip. I tripped all over the times. Is there no other way to show can go on? Not really, said Tatiana Tutu. You can't have an Alice in Wonderland without the White Rabbit, can you? I suppose not, I said sadly. The other dancers are also so disappointed too, continued Tatiana Tutu. That's why it's so quiet backstage right now. Usually everyone hurting and bustling around and looking forward to show. But now it looked a ghost corner. I nodded and Tatiana Tutu looked at the clock over her dressing room wall. The shows should have to started by now, she said. A strange director. Well, I go to the hour very soon and advance for the console. She wiped a tear with her glittery eyes and sniffed. Oh dear, I said. I wish I could think of something that would have helped. Pink Rabbit bounced up and down next to me and waved his paws into the air. Tatiana Tutu and I both turned to him. His grand jet across the room and did a perfect protest. He pointed his toes, just like a proper ballet dancer, and then gave a deep bow. Oh, I said, wait a minute. I think I have an idea.